Hi everyone, this is a slideshow about CMS Music Ensembles. If you'd like to save yourself a little bit of time on YouTube, you can click on the little gear there and change the speed to 1.5 or 1.25 if you'd like to save a minute or two. But I'm going to take you through all the offerings and all the details of everything you need to know about the extracurricular, co-curricular ensembles that we offer here at CMS. They're a great way to play more than just the standard 3 concerts at CMS. Develop your skills, try different styles of music to get more advanced on your instrument and play more advanced music, get a little extra help and experience. Obviously, make some friends too, and work with different teachers, play with older and younger kids. Some of the groups, actually all the groups are 7th and 8th grade combined, to work with some high schoolers, perform with high schoolers, get lots of great clinics and play extra concerts, and sometimes travel or do field trips. They are lots of fun. If they weren't fun, I wouldn't be doing them, we wouldn't be doing them, and we wouldn't get students to show up. So hopefully that's proof to you that they're worth it. Try some of them, sign up. We think you'll like it. They are definitely a lot of fun. A big part of my job and a part that I love, for sure. So we have 3 individual ensembles that focus on a section in the band: the woodwinds, the brass, and the percussion. Those meet once a week in the mornings. And those ensembles are a little bit more focused on the skill sets that you need for those instruments. The techniques that you need that are crucial for a woodwind instrument can be focused on a little bit more in an individualized group like that. Same with brass and percussion. The woodwind group plays lots of fun music all the time. They're doing a great job of that every year. Same with brass. And percussion and drumline, obviously you can focus on lots more than just concert band music in these groups. You can do some funny music, some serious music, and work on tuning your instruments a little bit differently, and everything turns out to be really a lot of fun. Percussion plays some pretty unique things like African drumming, some Japanese taiko drumming, mallet focus stuff, and some drum set focus stuff. So it's a pretty unique ensemble, and those 3 groups are a really, really important part of building the skill set for some of these other groups. So our larger groups, jazz band, pep band, and symphonic band, which happens in the winter, are a little bit larger. Jazz band's pretty unique. They play swing music, rock music, some Latin jazz, some funky stuff, but it's a little bit different instrumentation. In a jazz band, you have a focus on saxophones, trombones, trumpets, and then the rhythm section, which is drums, bass, guitar, vibraphone, and piano. And so we need any band students or non-band students that are piano players or bass players or guitar players to join that group too. So jazz band has some really great opportunities to perform. All of these groups, except for symphonic band, will be performing in December. So it's kind of a little session that happens between September and December. We'll call that the fall session or the fall season. And then those groups start back up in the springtime and perform at a spring ensembles concert in May. So they're kind of the bookends of our year. And jazz band is one, though, that performs all year long. So they will perform at that winter concert, but then they'll continue. They'll play in January at the high school. We will probably do a couple festival things, one of which may be that we travel to Eau Claire for the world-famous Eau Claire Jazz Festival for the day. We'll work on some of those details as we find out who's in the band and what kind of musicians we have, and if their desire is to travel like that, we'll do that. Pep band is pretty unique as well. It's a kind of a band that's put together for athletic events. We perform at football games, volleyball games, hockey games, and basically support the high school pep band as they perform at those events when our teams go to state or semifinals and finals. So chances are that we'll perform at US Bank Stadium. We'll definitely do an elementary tour of all the elementaries, which is one of our favorite highlights. We do a home concert to thank the parents. We will also probably do another Timberwolves game this year where we play at a Timberwolves game. But lots of great events with that group, and that's fun, kind of peppy music, popular music usually, stuff that spans the generations, brand new music all the way through some of the oldies. And then we have in the winter the other groups kind of take a little bit of a break or back off a little bit on the schedule so that we can accommodate this traveling symphonic band. We kind of call it the travel band, but that happens on Thursdays in the winter. On top of that, and I'll talk more about the symphonic band in a minute here, but orchestra has a group, Central Singers in the morning, and then we have a musical pit orchestra where people can get involved with their instrument on top of all the singing and dancing and crew and lights and sound and set construction that goes into the spring musical. So that's that. These ensembles are in addition to the regular band class. There's no auditions, so you can sign up in September. One difference in that is the symphonic band, obviously, that we travel, and so that doesn't start until November. And I'll mention something a little bit more about that in a second here. But rehearsals begin next week. You can register for $20 online with a credit card or use the paper form. Both are found on a website that I will be sending in the email that's attached to this. And you could pay with a paper form and a check. Scholarships are available for everything that we do here. Okay, so just another way to frame this up for you. We've got some groups that are all year, and that's jazz band and percussion ensemble. Those tend to go most days. We do take a break when symphonic band is kind of going full bore. We kind of take a break there. But then in the fall, we have woodwind, brass, and pep band. In the winter season, you can count on symphonic band if you're in that, and pep band kind of finishes up there in, I think, February. And then in the spring, we start up the woodwind and the brass again. A detailed schedule with all the dates is already created on a Google Calendar, and I'll provide a link to that. Okay. What else we got here? Kids usually do at least one of those. I'd say maybe 75% of our band kids do at least one. Sometimes people play a secondary instrument, and that allows them to play, 2, 3, 4, 5 different groups. Like I said, the first session goes until the concert in the beginning of December. We can set up carpools. We know how hard it is to get up in the morning, so it's nice to have carpools, and that can help prevent barriers from keeping people from being able to participate. So if you need a carpool, please speak up. We do start pretty early in the morning, but most kids find out that to get there on time, they get up about the same time, maybe a few minutes earlier. But what a great thing to do, to come play music with us instead of sitting on that cold bus all winter and just waiting for people to get dropped off. So if you can get this all figured out with your family or hook up with a carpool, we can help you arrange that. 6:45 a.m. starts to become normal, and we get used to it, and it becomes a habit, and then it's not really that early in the morning anymore, and kids are having a blast, and we love doing it. So there's lots of different concerts throughout the year. Like I said, you can check those calendars on Google and just make sure that you can make some of those happen, make them all happen. Some groups travel. We go to the Mall of America sometimes. We can go over to St. Paul sometimes. And then the Symphonic Travel Band goes to Chicago and Madison, alternating every other year. So another way to look at it is by instrument. So I'll just list these out right here. So depending on what you play, these are the groups that you can be in. So if you play 2 of those instruments, you can see how that might multiply. So that is kind of about it. If you're interested in signing up, we have some sign-up sheets on the wall in the band area, or you could just drop your student off next week. Now, a little disclaimer, Monday's Woodwind Ensemble, the first one, is going to be delayed or canceled, so that we will not be starting on the 17th. We'll start the following week on Monday. And rehearsals, in the band room, so that's where we meet. And we hope you can join us. Now, one more thing I wanted to mention is that the Woodwind Ensemble, the Percussion Ensemble, and the Brass Ensemble are, hopefully people join those if they're interested in going with the Symphonic Band. Last year we took over 80, almost 90 kids to Chicago. This year we'll be going to Madison. This is a picture of us performing at the Capitol Building in Madison. We'll have more details about that trip, but you can expect a viewing of a performance at a concert hall. You can expect a tour of UW-Madison. You can expect that we'll work with a clinician and learn from somebody when we're in Madison, and then a performance in the town, probably again in the rotunda here. and followed by a trip over to Wisconsin Dells for some fun time socializing and hanging out and swimming with your friends. But it's a super great opportunity. And last year we did have a waiting list, so we wanted to kind of get a more organized way other than just first come, first served, because, we want to promote our own ensembles too. So what we're going to have everybody do is the first opportunity is going to go to those who are in the smaller ensembles, woodwinds, brass, and percussion. So if you want to guarantee a spot, if there's a huge backup or a huge waiting list this year, your best bet is to join woodwinds, brass, or percussion. Second tier of people we will allow to go, if there is a waiting list at all, would be kids in the jazz band and the pep band. And then finally, we will start a first come, first serve waiting list after that. Now, last year, with the popularity of the Chicago trip, we still only had 2 people on the waiting list. So I'm not sure exactly what to anticipate. I know that it's going to be fun and it's going to be a popular trip. So you may want to consider joining woodwind, brass, or percussion for that reason. And of course, with that trip, it's pretty expensive because we do ride nice coach buses out to Madison with, movie screens and Wi-Fi sometimes, and you can plug in your iPads and hang out with your friends on the bus. It's a really, really great way to travel with your friends. But that gets expensive. So we do have a fundraiser. We'll have a fundraiser again. A lot of kids end up paying for the whole trip just with the fundraiser. So we do also have sometimes some scholarship opportunities. We'll have to see how that pans out, but we do not want to tell any kid that they can't come because of their finances. And the fundraiser is another attempt to help that happen. All right, we hope to see you joining us next week. Once again, not the woodwind ensemble on Monday, but so jazz band on Tuesday will start up, pep band on Wednesday, and then on Thursday we'll have brass ensemble, and Friday is percussion and drumline. We'll get it going. Sign-ups for symphonic band won't start until November, so there you go. Hopefully sign up. Hundreds of kids usually do, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks a lot.